His saga continues. Yes, sirree, Bob. CNBC, Ben Carson got caught. Who stands to benefit? No bias at CNBC. Washington Post with yet another story. Ben Carson has weird ideas and makes stuff up. What kind of president would he be? So here's the thing. In addition to the crime that's been committed here, and it really is, it's a journalistic crime. Ben Carson as a human being is one of the finest human beings that walks this planet. He's harmless. The man has saved more lives than most Americans will ever even dream of. The lives of children. He came from nothing. He had a single-parent mom. Look, when it comes to character, when it comes to style, when it comes to basic humanity, he's just a fine man. There are few finer. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. People who could not hold his doctor's smock try to destroy him just because he doesn't think the way they do. And that poses a big threat. So they have to destroy him. And it's just amazing to watch this continue to happen. And it's infuriating. These people are nowhere near the mettle, the character, the dignity, the decency that Ben Carson is. Now, he can fight his own battles. I'm not going to treat him here as a helpless victim, but clearly he is a victim, and this is a political assassination that has taken place today. It's a very cleverly written story filled with a big, fat lie. And in fact, it never even asserts the lie. It's written in such a way as to cause readers to believe something that isn't true. In order for Politico to get away with the story, you must believe, whether you've heard Ben Carson say it, whether you've read his book or not, you must believe that he's out there bragging about going to West Point and how William Westmoreland plucked him from ROTC and greased the skids and got him into West Point free. He didn't have to pay anything. That's what you have to believe. That is the assertion the story makes without stating it. They create circumstances that's the conclusion you as the ignorant reader will draw. Wow, Carson's out there saying he went to West Point. He wrote a book. I didn't know that. And now he lied about it? Well, what a scumbag, is the way you're supposed to react to reading the story. If you're a Carson supporter and voter, you're supposed to be so let down that you are going to be you're supposed to be so depressed. You are supposed to be just so devastated that you're going to give up politics. There's nobody you can put faith. You can't put your faith in Ben Carson. If you can't trust Ben Carson, then there's nobody in this world in politics that you can trust. It's not worth it, and you're going to quit. And that's what they want. That is the sole objective. This is from the same media that's always wringing their hands and wondering why more good people don't get into politics. These are the same people in the drive-by media that supposedly cry about all the negativity in politics. And they whine and moan about all the negative ads. And they hate politics being referred to as a blood sport. And these are assassins. These are political assassins. And the weapons are their computer keyboards and their word processors and their internet lines. Now, Mr. Snerdley, let me ask you a quick question. You think this is going to hurt Carson with his primary voters? You think this could do damage to Carson's standing in the polls now with primary voters? What would you think of somebody who proffered the opinion that it may help Carson by creating even more solid support. Standing up and defending the guy and becoming even more in solidarity with him, joining forces against this despicable assassination attempt. And I can't, the politicos become, that's where the mainstream Republican people go to leak their stuff. That's where we find out what the mainstream Republican Party's thinking about things. So, and he is leading in the polls. And I don't think anybody can understand how or why, and therefore they don't know what to do about it. I think Ben Carson leading in the polls had more people bamboozled than Trump. Trump they can explain. Braggadocious, celebrity, funny, entertainer. Carson, dull, speaks softly, not dynamic. What do you mean he's 10 points ahead of Hillary? You telling what? And, they live and die by polls. They look at Carson. I'm talking about Republican establishment, too, not just Democrat. They look at Carson, and his usurping belief was bad enough when Trump had it. But now Carson, they can't explain it. Carson and Trump are both antithetical, but Carson really, there's no playbook in the world that tells you to do what Ben Carson's doing to win. So they don't know how to take him out. They wouldn't know how to go about it. They've tried insulting him. They've tried making fun of him not being able to do math. They've tried, nothing seems to damage his support. So how about saying he lied about it going to West Point? Let's try that. West Point. Let's try that. Let's just tell everybody that this guy lied about going to West Point. That's what they're trying to make people believe.